Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. And here's my review for Empire Season 5, Episode 2. What is this one called? Pay for Their Presumptions. So it starts off with Lucius, and we see that Lucius is dealing with the death of someone. And for some reason, I said, Lord, please let it not be Cookie. Please let it not be Cookie. And I just feel like it's going to be someone that we actually care about. I feel like it's going to be someone we actually care about. If it's not Cookie and if it's not his sons, who else does he really care about? Is it symbolic? I don't know. What I do know is Becky's there showing him support. So then it's like, so when does Becky and Lucius start more so talking again? Because she's cool with Jamal, but not necessarily with the rest of them like that, since they don't work for Empire anymore, since she's just, making sure she secures her work and her job. But anyway, we go from that to we see Lucius and Cookie in the studio with Treasure. And remember, this is the studio we saw in Season 1 when Cookie and Lucius were trying to figure out the whole thing with Jamal and Jamal finding his sound. This is an old family friend. He actually might be family as well, but he owns a studio and he's always the one eating the cereal. So I said, okay, this is giving me some good vibes. We're getting somewhere with this. And he does the usual thing of talking about the money. So when's the money going to come to play? And they're looking at him like, don't even, you know us. We see back at Empire that Becky is talking to Giselle, and Giselle thinks that she's going to be the new CEO of Empire. Remember, she was the interim CEO. So time keeps going by and keeps flowing. So at this point, she's been interim CEO for a moment. And we see Patel is there because he's going to announce the new CEO. So Giselle thinks it's her. Patel does the speech. And it turns out it's going to Jeff Kingsley. And remember, Jeff Kingsley, if I'm not mistaken, in episode 1 of this season, he's the guy that was sleeping with her. If I'm not mistaken, he's the same one that was sleeping with her. If he's not, then they just look alike. All that matters is she thought that she was going to be the new person, but it's not going to be her. Egg on her face. And I loved it. I loved every moment of it because I said, see, you're not going to win playing dirty. The Lions had to learn that the hard way. Hakeem has his goons around, and his goons are acting like plumb fools. His goons, why am I saying it like that? His goons are smoking, drinking, guns everywhere in Jamal's home, and Jamal's boo is looking at this like, so we're really doing this? We're really? This is what I came to New York for from London? For this? So Jamal yanks up Hakeem, tells him to take a shower, get dressed, tells all these other people get out, and they disrespecting the place. Now Becky's thinking that she's doing a good thing by going over to Giselle, bringing her some alcohol, because Giselle was even saying how she was bringing her couch into the new CEO office. She goes, takes a knife to her couch, ripping it up because she's pissed. But she has a plan. She has a plan. She's not going to let them just go and do this to her. And now we see Lucius swallowing his pride, and he's actually doing this interview. And I said, wait, is that Sway? I said, is that Sway? And he's doing this interview. The interview's not going too well because it's supposed to be about Treasure. But nowadays, more than ever, it's about the gossip. And no one knows Treasure, but they know the Lion family. So now, this interview becomes, we're in the streets that you were broke. We're in the streets that you were broke. What do you think? Lucius keeps looking back at the producer of the show. And so, the producer, after the interview's over, because Lucius threatened and said, I'm going to go murk you if you keep going down this line of questioning. The producer of the show said, they don't care about Treasure. They care about you and Cookie and your issues. That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, sorry we got you out of the house under false pretenses, but this is what we're going to talk about now. The interview's not going to happen. Your music's not going to be played unless you actually give us something that people care about. It's terrible, but that's how it is to a certain degree nowadays. Cookie is on her social media reading these people on her Twitter, just tweeting using her followers to attack the radio station. And it was cute. She was defending her man. But most importantly, shout out to this more natural look for Cookie. I loved this episode because, as I said, dang, the fact that Cookie had to lose a budget to finally get some, some style that we can appreciate. Because I like the casual look. I like the casual look. Or at least Cookie's version of casual. Now they have to go and regroup and figure out how they're going to attack this whole let's get Treasure some exposure and promotion. Back at the studio, Fruit Loops comes back, and Fruit Loops is saying, so is she coming? Because I have a 2 o'clock appointment, and they're actually paying. Cookie just gave him a look. He said, we family. Don't worry about it. I know you got me. She reaches out to Treasure. Treasure reaches back out to her because Treasure wasn't there. Treasure lets her know that she's not coming. She has to go to work. She has to actually get an actual income. She didn't get any sign-in bonus, so there's no financial incentive for her to go and just party and play with you guys over there. Now, this sucks for Cookie because now it's looking like, all right, we thought that we were just going to be able to do whatever we want. We were wrong. Andre did not listen to his mother. Andre is overall a good person. So he sees this guy, this like shrimp, being bullied by this other guy, inmate, and Andre wants to do something. But Andre's dude tells him, don't you dare go and mess up your chances to get paroled out just because you want to go and be, Captain Save-A-Ho. That's not what we're doing. Speaking of Captain Save-A, Cookie goes over to where Treasure lives, and Treasure said, at the end of the day, I need to go and make money. And she talked to her father, and her father said, stop going and shirking on your responsibilities so that you and let your bills and other responsibilities get out of hand for a dream. And so that's when Cookie tells her about the dream that Cookie's father had for her. And the reality is that Cookie's father wanted her to go off to school, be a lawyer, be a doctor. And she went and told her father she wanted to do music. She was going to go and live with Lucius. And her father died shortly after. And she's upset because her father didn't get to see that the hard work that was instilled in her, it did go to good. It didn't go to waste. And so that's when Cookie said, look, you can go to work and do whatever you need to do there. But at the end of the day, why don't you go and call me when you see what I see in you? Because right now, you're just going over there and making pennies. She didn't do that, but she said, right now, you're just going to go there and do the whatever and get whatever out of it when you could actually be doing something major with your life and show your father better than tell him. The Lyons brothers come to the jail to support Andre, and we had the inmate, 3 inmates, they want to show their musical skills. And you know how a lot of times their music isn't bad because they're actually talking about real stuff. You feel it because the energy's there. So Hakeem is bumping, Jamal just has a smirk, and Andre has the look of, dudes, I'm trying to talk to my family right now. So that's when it's the in-jail intervention for Hakeem. But it doesn't work because Hakeem's pissed at Andre for killing his baby mama. Or at least his first baby mama. Now, Andre had to let me know, I don't give a knick-knack about any Onika. That bit went and decided to go push my baby down the stairs, killed my own child, and then killed my wife. So if you think for a second I care about her living, you have another thing coming. Why? And so he said, why don't you go and fix yourself and fix your own life instead of trying to go and point the blame at me? It's like, why don't you go and listen to someone who's in jail right now? You need to go and listen to someone who's in jail right now because you're going and you're throwing, you're toting guns around, you're drinking, and you're the type of person that goes up to the jail and throws pebbles at the jail until one day you're actually in the jail. I said, whoop, whoop. Hakeem didn't like that, so he went and left. Jamal just kind of stayed like, oh, Lord, you see what I have to deal with. Tiana, because, Tiana looked good. So Tiana, she was there at Empire, and remember, Kingsley is the new CEO. Becky, I guess, is his new right-hand woman. And Becky was just reiterating whatever Kingsley was saying. He was like, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're a mother. Prince and Baby Bella, they should be there in the studio in Empire with you instead of just off at home being taken care of by whoever. And he wants to go and change the way how Empire is run. He wants to go and make it more inclusive for mothers and for the people with other circumstances. He sees that he can make money off of Tiana, so he's going to say whatever he needs to say to make her feel good. And she's the type of person where it doesn't take much. It's sad, but it doesn't take much. Now, Lucius decided, let me stop going to the main outlets. Let me go to the side outlets that have a lot of buzz, that have the right type of listenership that'll help break a new artist. So he goes to this smaller place, and they were like, oh my God, Mr. Lion, Brother Lion, my brother. He was like, oh yes, my sister. And the important thing is, he thought that his music, Treasure's music, was going to be played. They said that can't happen because unfortunately our playlists are curated, so they're already set. Lucius said, oh, I understand. Why don't I go and tell you the storyline, the story arc about, I guess, a really personal song of his. So then they're like, really? What? He sits down, does the story about how Cookie lost their first child, which was supposed to be a girl, and how he was just thinking about how, things would be if she was here right now, and his real firstborn. I said, dang, is Lucius still psychologically messed up because that firstborn that he thought he was going to have, which was a baby girl, never happened? Then he ended up with three boys. I don't know. But they love the story, and they're playing Treasure's song, which is great. But I'm thinking, Treasure isn't even committed to you at this point. This is dangerous rhetoric. So when Lucius and Cookie go and meet up with Treasure, guess who's there? Giselle. So Giselle is there, and Giselle signed Treasure. Officially signed Treasure, even though technically Treasure is signed to Cookie and Lucius. The thing is, though, Giselle tells them, Empire has a lot more resources. We'll just sue you until you guys really have nothing. And so Cookie goes on a reading session saying there's nothing you could actually do with her because, yeah, she has potential, but you don't know how to actually break artists. You just know how to make general dollar signs, not about creating artists that have longevity and all of that. And so then Treasure talks about how she wanted to go with people who actually had a budget and not a pipe dream. That's essentially what she was saying, and I was over it. I said, little girl, you have something. It's not that you don't have anything. It's that you have something, but you're being disrespectful. You're being rude. You're being inconsiderate. You're being a brat. And you're sounding entitled. And she said, it's because that pep talk you told me, and knowing what I want and what I deserve. And so I think I should deserve some place with a budget. Cookie said, here's the thing. Cookie and Lucius were both like, we know how to break artists and ruin their momentum. So let's be very clear about what your full decision is. Now Jamal's singing, and I said, okay. Jamal's boyfriend, Kai, came, and remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe, and come back. There's this situation of Jamal wants to stay in New York for a couple of more months. Okay, 3 more months. Kai doesn't want to do all of that, but Kai loves Jamal, so he's going to think about it. Now, we see Andre, he still feels a certain way about this kid being yoked up. And so Andre was just like, he actually said something. He said, you can have everything in my locker. You can have everything in my locker when I go. And this inmate tells him that he'll have his locker and he'll do whatever he wants to. New dude, fresh meat anyway. Andre, being Andre, is going to devise a plan, as we know he's going to. Cookie and Lucius, they're trying to regroup, figure out what's their next move, and that's when they get a call from Kingsley. And I said, okay, this isn't right. So they go there. They don't shake his hand because why would they? He ordered for them. He ordered chicken. I know everyone loves chicken, but anyway, So Kingsley starts talking, and there was a fried chicken too. He gave them the buffalo to be safe. Kingsley talks about how, yes, Empire is Cookie and Lucius, and originally they said, oh, so you're here to do what? To gloat, to this, to that? He said, no, I want to go and bring you back to Empire. I'm thinking, how? Unless you're stepping down and reappointing them, I don't see how that's going to work. So that's when he talks about, well, I want to make you the faces of Empire again. Essentially, he wants them to be the brand ambassadors. That's what this really is. He handles everything else, and they just get a paycheck for, maintaining the brand, the image. Maybe going and walking around talking to a couple of artists every now and then. But no, actually that's a little too close to home, so they wouldn't even do that either. And he's using these words and these terminology, and I'm just thinking, this guy is a chump. He's one of those tech gurus that, yeah, he doesn't really know the culture. Of course, he can't be of the culture. He's just someone who sees dollar signs from the culture and probably liked the music, and that's as far as that went. And so he's one of those people that you just kind of laugh, smirk, call him a fool, but a check is involved. So you always double back and think, Now Jamal has to go and aid his boyfriend Kai in this interview. Well, it's kind of an interview / dinner. Becky's there, and I said, I'm glad to see Becky. You can tell they're real friends. And Becky wants to hear some music because she still works for Empire. She doesn't care if he's doing his stuff in London. He's still an Empire artiste. Come on, dude. And we don't talk anymore. How am I supposed to know? It's just being silly. Jamal gets a little offended because he feels like, okay, this other guy who I said, wait a minute, is that Michael's brother? He looks just like maybe like a brother to Jamal's first boyfriend, Michael. If you didn't watch Empire from the beginning, you have no idea who I'm talking about. Anyway, Jamal is getting very irritated because this guy was definitely talking as if Kai's this great person, this great reporter, and he's being held back by Jamal. And so Kai checked this dude, but Jamal's still salty, as he should be, because like, how do you think you're going to talk to me in your own type of way? Andre's in jail, hatching a plan, and now Jamal is walking with Kai, and he's upset because he feels like, why did you consider staying in New York when that guy said that you needed to? Because apparently they used to work together. But when I threw it out there, you were like, oh, Puff. I'm thinking it's because he sees your family's a mess. He doesn't want any parts of that. That's the real reason. Hakeem shows up to Empire drunk, and he wants to go and see Tiana. He wants to go and see his babies, but he's drunk, and he's carrying a gun. So security grabs him. Thankfully, Tiana told him to stop and said, you better leave before I tell security to drag you out of here. And she's embarrassed. So now we see Andre's plan. Andre's plan was to take the news, the magazines that he's stored up, or maybe he had his connect go and get him those magazines and some tape. That's what probably happened. So he got magazines, tape, wrapped it around his stomach because he's going to get into a fight. He needs to defend himself. So now he goes and starts the fight. He doesn't actually fight the main person, but he fights all of the main person's jail security. You hear what I'm saying? So he fights the people that are really the muscle. And he gets taken out, and so does everyone else. I mean, that first guy, he hit so hard, blood instantly, as he busted his lip on contact. Shout to you, Andre. Because the guy tried to stab him, but it didn't work. And I was so proud. I said, see, that's why we need Andre out and about, because he's smart. And now that the punk that was bullying the fresh meat doesn't have any protection, let's see how long he lasts. An intervention is called, this time on Hakeem, but it's with Cookie and Lucius. And Cookie was about to go and take that Jack Daniels battle and bust Hakeem in the head. I was ready for it, but I said, oh no, that's actually going to hurt. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Lucius goes and talks to the artiste and Hakeem and lets him know that, hey, I understand that you're afraid that you won't be able to get back to where you were before, but it's not about that. It's about you just putting out your best work and you getting yourself together. And they convince Hakeem to stay at their house at least for a couple of days, just to dry out, just to clear his mind. He needs people that are going to watch him and not enable him like his friends or his crew. And so he says yes, he's going to get his stuff, but he did make sure to go and grab that gun. So Cookie was over it because she's like, this boy don't never learn. Now they're at the house, that hot house. Oh my gosh. Their house attendant still there because she's a good woman. Good woman. Good woman. Shout out to her. She's still there. She's still cooking breakfast. She's like, oh, they paid me so much and they've been so good to me. They're going to find a way to bounce back. You know, as long as that check doesn't bounce, I'm good. It was actually nice to see Jamal and Hakeem have a regular just brother moment at the breakfast table or the breakfast island. And they were doing a little squabbling, which is good. That means things are getting better. Now, they're both irritated once their parents say, we're thinking about going back to Empire as just like the face brand ambassadors. Because, look, we need the check. We need the check. And this is what we're going to do. So you're going to support us, right? You're going to support, stupid, right? Yeah. They go back to Empire, and Empire looks completely different. The people that they knew don't work there anymore. But this is a party that's supposed to be about them, but it doesn't feel like it. To make matters worse, we see Kingsley. He actually has Lucius's throne chair. He has it in a glass, in a protective glass. And he's talking about, you know, this is paying homage to the old empire. It's like a relic. I said, they're not going to like that. Next thing we know, we see Kai's there with Jamal, and he's going to stay. He's going to stay for work. And, you know, Jamal's just going to have to eat the fact that he's not staying there for him. Kingsley is talking to Lucius, and he messes up royally. Because Lucius talks about how, yeah, things are different. Kingsley said, don't worry about it. What matters is you're here, you're back in the office, you're collecting the check, and let me handle the brats, the spoiled brats, the babies. You know, it's just all about you and I. It's all about that dollar, that bottom line. What a lot of people are probably missing, this is really important. I'm sure Lee, the writers, all of them, put this in here because here's what happens. When a minority becomes big, powerful, makes a name for himself, gets some real money, there's other people who come in who's not a part of their like racial group who'll think, oh, what we do have in common though is money. Forgetting that these were regular people. So you don't ever go and down regular people around these people. And that's what he doesn't get. That's where he screwed up. Because Lucius was like, you know what? Those artists, I formed Empire so that those artists could have a home. I love those artists. And so then Kingsley said, here's how this works. You work for me. You're going to go up there on that stage and say whatever it is I want you to say and Sweet Cookie to say and the rest of your family to say. Or else I'm going to go and tell the world that y'all are broke. Y'all are broke. And I said, oh, he doesn't know Lucius now, does he? Then, next thing we know, we hearing this Treasure. And Treasure looks good. I actually liked her performance. And I love the song. So cold. And haven't seen your chick so cold. I like it. I like the song. I have to go and, you know, add that to my title playlist. But she goes and I said, we can do this because Tiana, I don't know what's going on with her right now. Even though Tiana's performance was great last episode. What I do see is Giselle, and she's pissed at Kingsley. She feels like, why are you going and denying what's rightfully mine? I worked hard for this. I deserve this. And you just came in here and take it. Well, you should be thankful that you still work here, even though you undermined me and Patelli by going and signing Treasure, even though you didn't consult us. She said, well, it was a great sign. So what's the problem? And then he says, you know what? I don't have an issue with you. I want you to work as my right-hand man. She was about to be the president, but now she's going to be a right-hand. No, I don't think so. So then Patel, so then Kingsley goes and asks Lucius to come on stage. He even gets his gold microphone. And Lucius, dramatic entrance, comes in. And before I forget this, did you notice how they made sure to show that Lucius was moving his left leg differently when he got up with Cookie off of the couch during this episode? Anyway, it's the little things. Lucius gets up there and he talks about how, I love Empire and this and that. And then he goes and asks everyone to sit down. Everyone to sit down because he wants to be honest and tell the truth. And I said, uh-oh. The rumors about us being broke, the Lion family being broke, is factual. It's correct. We are broke. We are broke because we used all of our money to try and take back our company from vultures, from people and CEOs who essentially thinks that the artists and the creatives are just spoiled brats and babies to be profited off of. And what I need for all of you to know is you have a home. You have a home if you want to be a real creative. You have a home if you want to be heard and respected and, be doted on and loved on. And she said that she's starting up a new management, entertainment, promotional company, and come with me if you want to go on board. Now, I was thankful that they didn't do the come with me now if you want to be on board, because, a lot of people probably have been like, I'm going to have, you said that you're broke? How is this going to happen? But they cheered for him. They love Lucius. See, this is the thing. You can be an a-hole, but if you are a lovable a-hole, then you are golden. And that's what Lucius is to a lot of people. And that look on Becky's face, it said, Becky, don't do it. Anyway, after that happened, and Cookie loved it because that smirk she had on her face while looking at Kingsley as Lucius was giving his speech, like, eat that. At the end of the episode, we see Lucius again. The casket was taken away this time. Thirsty is back because we haven't seen Thirsty yet. And the FBI come and say they need to talk to Lucius. We don't know why, though. We don't know why. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Watch my previous recap. Watch my future recaps. Watch my Star recap. American Horror Story recap. Also, watch my Greenleaf, because Greenleaf is back. And stay tuned.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.